spent the last 20 years analyzing the global restaurant business from the inside out. I've studied the consumer habits and actions that feed this business every day. Innovation is found in places where few might look. It's where the real heartbeat of the restaurant business lies. Sometimes it's beneath the known Michelin stars or the glitz and the glamour of the posh addresses of the best restaurant districts in the business. We all face the same thing every day, and that's finding the best value for what we want. I'm Paul Barron, and this is my show, and I'm in search of amazing food, stellar service, and that unforgettable experience. Welcome to Table 42.
So we are in the kitchen of Eve, a restaurant in Alexandria, Virginia that I think has kind of a very unique flair of both menu and style. And here with Chef.
Hello.
Tell me a little about who you are and what you do here at Eve.
My name is Jeremy Hoffman. I'm the chef de cuisine here at Restaurant Eve. I've been here for about 4.5 years. I've been chef de cuisine for 3.5 years. And so a lot of the style, a lot of the focus of Restaurant Eve is on the local and what's around us. So we pull from many farms in the Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland area, and that goes through to our cheeses and things like that and our meats. So we work on the seasonal, we work on the local.
So Chef, talk to us a little about how consumers or your guests really connect to this menu style that you guys have going. Do you feel that it's the quality of ingredients? Do you feel it's the style, the cuisine itself? What do you think is the love affair for Eve right now?
Well, I think that with Eve's cuisine, we are playful and we try to do things outside the box, but generally speaking, we do things that people are familiar with, that people can relate to. And we play a lot with dishes and things that people are familiar to, whether it's use of fig Newtons when we have figs, and other items like that. So as far as the familiarity, I think the guests can understand our food fairly easily and enjoy it in that fashion.
So it's kind of easily approachable, but yet in a really upscale environment, so it kind of brings in that home feel of more comfort almost in a way. So when you look at designing a new menu or a dish within Eve, what's the process? Is there something cool about that you guys get through?
Well, the process begins with the farmer. So the farmer sends us availabilities twice a week as to the ingredients we can get in. So our season is constantly changing based on what's available from Tuscarora Organic Co-op and Path Valley Farms, both in Pennsylvania, where we get a bulk of our vegetables and things in from. So that's really how the menu is designed, and from there it's what complements what's local and what's unique and fun we can do with local.
So Chef, we're going to see an interesting dish tonight on the show, and talk to us a little about how you can, what's the process of that dish, first of all?
So this evening you'll see Pennsylvania brook trout with egg noodles, heirloom carrots, and mushroom broth. So the brook trout, being local and having a connection to Pennsylvania, I instantly thought of my father and my Pennsylvania Dutch roots. So I got the recipe for egg noodles from my father. So we have egg noodles, heirloom carrots from Tuscarora in Pennsylvania, and then the dried mushroom broth. These are domestic ceps that we are getting in from Earthy Delights. So it's the broth made from carrots, dried ceps, a little bit of serrano and ginger.
Yeah, so you're tying in both a little bit of your own history with the style of Eve. I like that, the way you've prepared that dish. Anything special about the process in the way the dish is prepared?
Yeah, the fish is prepared by, we cook it in canola oil, but it is wrapped in plastic wrap to protect the moistness and delicateness of the fish. And it's an even cooking medium using the oil. we like to add a little bit of flair at the end of our dishes. It's something that makes the dish stand out more. So we use a lot of young greens and microgreens that we get from Chef's Garden in Ohio. And they have a plethora and a great variety of greens. So for this dish, I chose to use the pea blossoms, a little crisp, almost getting into spring, and then the young chives as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Chef, we are going to head to the dining room to see what the rest of Eve is really about. So, Craig, we are now in the tasting room here at Eve, out of the kitchen with Chef, and got a chance to see some kind of the drive of the menu and the whole concept of what Eve is about from a culinary standpoint. Now let's talk about what the guest experience is. You know, you guys have a very unique operation here. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the idea at the beginning for Chef Armstrong and his wife Michelle was to do essentially a two-concept restaurant. You have the formal dining room called the Chef's Tasting Room, where they offer multi-course meals, 5, 7, or 9 courses. And then in the room behind me is the bistro, and it's a little less formal. You know, you don't have to wear a jacket in there. You don't have to get all dressed up and decked out. The food is a bit more rustic in its presentation as opposed to the food in the tasting room, which has definitely a more meticulous style to it. And so it's definitely two different vibes.
Right, and that's a bit of an unusual concept with a restaurant like what you guys have that presents pretty much almost two different dining experiences, but yet from the same kitchen.
Correct.
Which is kind of cool. I think that really sets Eve apart from some of the restaurant concepts that we've looked at on Table 42. Let's talk a little bit about your wine room. So that was when I first walked in. It's kind of one of the things I've had a chance to eat here before. And I just felt, especially in the evening, it just seems such a sexy part of the restaurant.
Yeah, it has that warm honey glow,
yes,
doesn't it? And just emanating out from the beautiful wood and the glass. The name of the wine room is called Isabel 55 Degrees. Obviously, 55 degrees is where we like to keep our wines stored. Isabel refers to the hurricane that came through in 2004. Flooded Old Town all the way up to past Union Street, and in the process knocked over a tree in the backyard. And we were doing a build out then, and for Michelle Armstrong, there's got to be a story for everything. There's a story behind everything, and that's really what kind of drives the restaurant and gives the substance behind the fancy veneer that we have.
Right.
And so we said, well, hey, let's use this tree. And they planked it out, made a nice shelf, and put it in the wine room, and it really plays to that sort of Art Nouveau,
right,
natural and organic and inorganic coming together with the wrought iron going right into that that wooden plank that at one time lived in the backyard.
Yeah. Now you guys, of course, tie in a third element to this restaurant, which is the bar.
Yeah.
And you've got a rock star over there doing mixology, and it's almost like another part of the planet. It seems like when you come in. How do you pull that off? Because that's really a cool concept to.
We have great staff.
Yeah.
We have great staff, and that's all. That's what it comes down to. Todd Thrasher, yes, he is our rock star bartender. It's his cocktail list. It's his concept to take that seasonality that we use in the kitchen and apply it to cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, we're not doing anything with strawberries in the middle of winter.
Sure.
We have about a 3-week window where we can do things with blueberries and strawberries in the summertime. So everything revolves around the seasons there.
Right.
But he's not making all the drinks all the time. That's impossible. No one does that, It's the famous quote, who's cooking in the kitchen when you're not there? The same people who cook when I am there, and it's the same that who's making the drinks? Well, our great staff, our bartenders that
right.
have pride and dignity in what they do and really want to carry on the vision of Todd Thrasher's cocktail list.
All right, so Craig, we're actually going to get a chance to try one of the tasting room menu items.
Excellent.
And this is one that Chef has prepared for us. We got a chance to see the sneak preview in the kitchen. Talk to us a little about how this dish works.
Well, again, another example of how we try to source locally. I mean, this is Pennsylvania brook trout from up near Wallenpaupack, so the northern end of Pennsylvania. Of course, heirloom carrots from Tuscarora Organic Growers. And the nice, beautiful, deep mushroom broth from Domestic Seps from Michigan. Maybe not quite as local as Pennsylvania, but absolutely delicious nonetheless.
Right, right. So you guys have really wrapped what I think is a unique dining experience into almost 3 different parts of a restaurant, tied it together with one great menu and a group of chefs that have kind of just created three different dining experiences all in the same building.
It's a lot of juggling on a Saturday night.
That is truly Eve.
It is.
All right. Well, thanks so much for inviting us in tonight. It's been great.
It was our pleasure. Thank you.